Al Sharpton? Really? Really, Target? Al Sharpton is not going to bring us back to Target. Not Daisy Double would literally have to raise Martin Luther King Jr. God rest his soul. And I don't even think that may impress us, but we still not going back and buying at Target. The reaching, the straws, it's just insane. It actually makes me hate them more. To be quite frank, the lengths these people are going to because they need our money and we are not giving it to them, it's diabolical. Straight to Rikers, baby, because what? I'm glad you asked. And truthfully, you're pandering to the boomers when it comes to Al Sharpton. Nobody that's 40 and below is going to Target because Al Sharpton told us to. Yeah, no.
Target, have you lost your mind? Al Sharpton is not the spokesperson for all black people, but what I will say is at least he stood on business. Brian Cornell wants to understand why black people and brown people and allies are protesting and not shopping at Target. Read the room, Brian. This is what we would call weaponized incompetence. This is willful ignorance. Before the ink could dry, before Donald Trump could even inaugurate, Target was running back their DEI and inclusion policies. Trump gave them an excuse. So we could say that they bended to the will of Trump, but this was always the plan. I'm back now, y'all. I had to go take a walk. Target agreed to invest $2 billion into black businesses, and that was supposed to be done by the end of 2025. They could not wait to roll that back so that they would not have to honor that $2 billion commitment. And to think their headquarters is in Minnesota and George Floyd was murdered in Minnesota, and that performative act that brought in black consumers, and then oh my gosh, shame, shame, shame. I knew something in the milk wasn't clean when Laisha Ward left. Laisha Ward, look her up. Phenomenal woman, seated at the right hand of the Father, if you will, forever and a day, as a strategic advisor for social corporate responsibility for Target for the entire duration of my career there. And I think she left last year, 2023. The writing was on the wall. It is the feigning confusion for me. You know why we not there no more, Brian. You know, and your stakeholders know. And instead of you play, somebody, a stakeholder, y'all need to have a serious conversation with him and stop playing in our faces. Stop acting like he don't understand that fat meat is greasy. Tell him to do the right thing. Step down. Apologize instead of an apology. Do something, because this ain't it. It's not enough. Few solid hitters left, but it's not enough. Few hitters that'll really step, but it's not enough. Say they bigger than myself, but it's not enough. I get on their ass. Man, somebody got it up.
So Target, we chose Al Sharpton. Okay. As your belief worker, I help you with your generational trauma. And I will tell you that this is a generational trigger. Yeah. The goal for everyone in our society at this time is to trigger the 62 people locked inside of your DNA. Now, if you want to know about those 62 people, go ahead and click the link in our bio, click on the webinar, and check your spam. But what is happening is Target made a decision to choose Al Sharpton because they know that Al Sharpton is like an elder. The reverend part comes to mind when I think of this decision from Target. And what I usually tell people there is that there are roughly about 5 to 6 generations locked inside of your DNA, which would date us back about 125 to 150 years ago, which would put us back to around the 1850s, which would put us back around slavery time. Now, the reason why I say this is because I look at corporations a lot of times as the slave owners, and the people who are their employees as they trickle down are the slaves. And how these generational traumas are embedded inside of us, it puts us in a space where we are constantly repeating the same cycle over and over again. So when I look at the fact that these corporations are now the new quote unquote slave owners, and this is give or take, this is not all absolute. Their actions by choosing Al Sharpton as their spokesperson to get us back, or to get Black people and all people back into Target, is kind of like common. What people used to do, as far as slave owners used to do, is they would go back and tell the reverend to change the people's mind, to convert the people back to doing what they want them to do. And to have Target use Reverend Al Sharpton to tell us to go back to Target is kind of like the same idea. And when they do that, it just kind of makes you shake your head, because one, they're kind of out of touch. Now, we all respect Reverend Al Sharpton. He's the voice of a lot of us growing up. We look to him as a leader, and he's still a leader, but he's now an elder, someone who has profound wisdom that we respect, but he's still not the speaker of this generation. And what it seems like is that Target is still out of touch, and they have no idea what to do in order to get their Black consumers, their Hispanic consumers, and all of the people who chose not to be a Target customer anymore, to get them back into where they want to be. Target, I need y'all to do.
Target really said, who's a Black person that does activism? Let's get them. And then they went and got Al Sharpton. And I really believe that Target thinks getting Al Sharpton is going to bring Black people back to Target. Why the fuck do y'all think bringing Al Sharpton and getting him to talk about Target is going to bring Black people back to Target? Y'all literally said, we know a Black. We know a Black, so let's get him. See, you guys, we know a Black, and he says that we're not that bad. Like, he says that Target is still cool. Like, we know a Black. Baby, Target is over. Target's done. Al Sharpton isn't going to bring Target back for y'all. Like, I understand that now you guys see that what you did was fucked and you shouldn't have done it. But, like, at the end of the day, you already showed what it is. You were so excited to get rid of Black people's shit out of Target. You were, like, too excited. So you already made up your decision. Bringing back Al Sharpton is not going to make us think, oh, yay, Target loves Black people. It just makes me think you guys were like, oh, I know a Black. And you guys went and got someone who's Black who does activism in order to make us think that you guys are aligned with that, when you're clearly not. So Target, boo-hoo. Sucks for you. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Anyway, hope everyone else is having a great day.
All right, y'all. So it looks like Al Sharpton is going to be meeting with the Target CEO later sometime in April. So what that really kind of comes down to is that boycotting worked, right? Like the power of the black dollar really showed true. Where Target felt in their pockets what their anti-DEI policies actually did, to the point where they're like, oh, we're using a lot of money. Like, we need to like figure out what our next move is. So who elected Al Sharpton to go speak on behalf of Black people? I don't know. But at the end of the day, somebody's there representing us, and there was no one there before. So at the end of the day, I'm cool with it. I don't know how you feel. But I think it kind of, there's a couple of things to take away. For one, like, it shows the power of the black dollar, right? So I think that's a super important piece, where sometimes we take our ability as a consumer for granted when we kind of galvanize together. So I think this is a great example of working together as a community to show what our mutual interests are, and for those interests to be met. And so I think that's an amazing accomplishment that we should feel very proud of as a community, that we were able to get buy-in. Number two, what we've done with Target kind of shows the power of the black dollar and it being avoided and moved and shifted away from certain companies. But I think the next iteration is using that power and putting it towards certain companies, in particular Black-owned businesses. And so I know Black-owned businesses typically are under-resourced, underfunded, and there's systems and history in play for that. So I do think being a Black-owned business would get you more awareness and get you into the door, get customers into the door, but it won't necessarily keep them there, because we got to deliver on customer service, got to deliver on quality. But I do think that is the shift, right? Let's go from and continue avoiding putting our money in places that don't represent us, but also putting our money in places that do represent us, giving us some grace. Because as a Black-owned business myself, trying to deliver a great product with Green Book Global from an app standpoint, it primarily being free unless you really want to invest in us, and adding a ton of value, we're hoping, to the Black travel community. it's tough, right? And so we're underfunded. Like, I don't even go out there looking for funding because I know I'm probably going to get denied. So it's primarily bootstrapped, right? So I think just the idea of us kind of boycotting Target was amazing. Let's keep that going. And also let's think about the next step and say, hey, how can we like funnel that money that we're not putting in Target into Black-owned businesses? Number three, at Green Book Global, we really think we are the number one tool for safety for Black travelers. And going back to the power of the Black dollar, what you can do on the app is you can book with brands like Expedia, Booking.com, Marriott, and still earn those points with them, but also earn cash back with us. But the ultimate goal, again, about kind of driving money towards businesses that kind of are about our community. If we're able to drive a lot of traffic, a lot of bookings to these partners through our app, what also helps us grow, maybe we can get engaged in conversations about what these brands are specifically doing to help the Black travel community, because we're accounting for a line item on their revenue sheet, right? And so if we're able to be the go-to app for Black travelers whenever you're doing your bookings, which is our ultimate goal, because again, we built all these safety tools dedicated to the Black travel experience. We are about our community. Again, the power of the Black dollar. Our goal is, U.S.-based Black travelers spend over $140 billion on travel each year, right? And so if we get a chunk of that, a slice of that going through the app, not only does that help us grow as an app, as a company, that allows us to talk to these brands about, hey, we want to come to your destination. Hey, we want to continue using you as a brand, but we need to make sure you're engaging with our community the right way. So let's talk. Like, what can we do to better this relationship to help our community of Black travelers feel more empowered and feel more welcomed and included when they travel? So, that's my take on it. Green Book Global, Black travel made easy.
Thank you for watching Great Minds Blacks.